Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
So let's start with a recap. Okay, recap of last class. So last class we discussed about certain factors that influencing the eating behaviors or eating patterns of adolescents. Then we discussed about the eating disorders, right? Anything else other than these factors, eating disorders? One more concept, right? The dietary patterns in
Anorexia,
adults. Yeah. Sorry, Sanjana.
anorexia
Yeah,
nervous.
anorexia nervosa, bulimia nervosa, all these are the different types of eating disorders, right? Okay, very good. So first we discussed about dietary patterns. Dietary patterns, adolescence. Okay, so we all know that adolescence is just a transition stage from childhood to the adolescence, sorry, to adulthood, right? And the eating patterns or eating habits during this time is very crucial for your future habits or future for your future body. Okay, so it is very important to include good nutritious food during this time. Okay, so try to include all those good nutritious food. Okay, then we discussed about the dietary patterns, common dietary patterns during adolescence, right? Then discussed about skipping meal. That is a very common procedure, right? Then they usually thought that they can easily reduce their weight by skipping all these meals, by skipping breakfast. And actually, this is a negative concept, right? Then we discussed about snacking pattern. Yeah. So eating too much of snacks are not good for your health, but a normal amount of snack that is okay. When you skip certain meal, you can add the snack to your meal. Okay, that provide the calorie or energy to your body. Is it clear? Any network issues, Sanjana? You're stuck here. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So then we discussed about fast foods, the behavior of eating fast foods and non-traditional eating patterns, disordered eating, dieting. So please write the definition for dieting. Okay, please write. Dieting means managing. We manage our consumption of food, right? That is the meaning, perfect meaning. So managing the consumption of food with the intention to lose weight. That is the meaning of dieting, right? Okay, so dieting simply means we control the consumption of food or we control the consumption of calories or other foods, meat products, fish products, and all with the intention to control our weight. Okay, so that is the dieting. Then we discussed about different factors that influencing eating behaviors. There are lots of factors, individual factors, social factors, mass media, then normal media. Okay, there are the certain factors that influencing the eating patterns of adolescents like peer pressure, social environment like the influence of parents, preference of parents. Then we have the hunger, food preferences, beliefs related to certain foods. All these are the certain factors that influencing the eating behavior. So the most important topic in this chapter, that is different types of eating patterns. Okay, this is not simple thing. Yeah, this anorexia nervosa and bulimia nervosa, all these two eating disorders, they are the life-threatening disorders or psychiatric disorders. Okay, so first, the common eating disorders, that is anorexia nervosa. So anorexia nervosa means the person is very thin, but he or she feels that he or she is overweight. Okay, actually the person is very thin, and the symptoms starts from the early to middle age or early to middle adolescence or middle teens. Okay, that is the starting stage. Then they look very thin, right? That is the major difference. Anything else in anorexia nervosa? One more point. Yeah, they usually refuse to eat because they think that they are overweight, right? Due to this
Rapid
concept, they
loss of weight.
refuse to eat, right? Sanjana?
Rapid loss of weight.
Yeah, the rapid loss of weight, the menstrual problems and all. It's very common in anorexia nervosa. Then we discussed about another common eating disorder, that is bulimia nervosa. Bulimia nervosa. So anorexia nervosa, first one. Then we have bulimia nervosa. Bulimia nervosa is just the opposite of anorexia nervosa. Okay. Here the person he or she eat more amount of food, and they use certain methods or certain strategies to reduce their weight, or they eat more amount of food without gaining weight. That is a perfect word for bulimia nervosa. So there are two types of bulimia. One is bulimia with purging. Another one is bulimia without purging. These are the two types. So bulimia with purging means purging. It's simply the clearing out. So they need to clear their food, right? So they use certain methods. They use fingers or they use other medicines to clear out that particular food. Okay, that is first type. Then we have bulimia without purging. So clearing out is not there or purging is not there, no medicines and all, but they, after eating large amount of food, they do excessive exercises. They do more amount of exercises to reduce weight or to control their weight. Okay, and the symptoms of bulimia nervosa only start after the middle adolescence, which means the late adolescence and early 20s, 20, 21, 22. This is a common age for getting this bulimia nervosa. Okay, these are the two common types of eating disorders. Is it clear? Yeah? Okay. Actually, that's all about our chapter 8, adolescence. Simple chapter, right? Yeah, the factors that influencing and also the dietary patterns and the eating disorders. Then we have another concept here, that is modifying diet related behavior. That simply means try to include more amount of water in your diet. Yeah, drinking 6 or 7 glasses of water per day. Yeah, these are the certain concepts. Then eat breakfast regularly, never skip meals. These are the certain methods we use for the proper diet behavior. Is it clear? If just write, give the heading, modifying diet related behavior. Modifying diet related behavior. You give certain key points, okay? Modifying diet related behavior. Never skip meals. Never skip meals. Drink enough water. Drink enough water. Include nutritious snacks rather than this Lays and all. Try to include nutritious snack when you're hungry. Try to avoid processed foods. Try to avoid processed foods. Avoid eating when you are in a depressed mood or stressed or worried mood. Try to avoid eating during that time. Never eat food with TV. Okay. These are the certain methods we can use to reach the good eating habits. Okay. Can I summarize the eating disorders? So all these eating disorders are life-threatening disorders. Okay, all these are psychiatric disorders also, this anorexia and bulimia. Yeah. I can refer notes and summarize the eating disorders.
Eating disorders are potentially life-threatening psychiatric disorders. Then two disorders,
Two
anorexia
type of
nervosa.
disorders, yeah. Two common type of disorders. Other than this, we have binge eating disorders and other type of disorders also there. Okay. So common type of disorders, that is anorexia and bulimia.
Then in anorexia nervosa, physical signs are onset in early to middle adolescence. It occurs during that time. Then it extremely thin, rapid loss of weight. Then food and exercise habits, they refuse to eat food and they are obsessed by food.
Yes, so let's discuss few questions from this chapter. Okay, you can take your textbook, page number 68. Yeah. The first question, it's in page number 68. Yeah. Adolescence is a period between dash and dash. It's from
Ma'am, page number?
68. Any difference there?
No, ma'am, I thought 50.
68. We're discussing chapter 8, right? Yeah.
Childhood and adulthood.
Yeah, right. Then we have next question. Adolescence begins and ends with or between dash and dash. Which is the most appropriate option here?
11 and 18.
11 and 18. Yeah, fine. Then third question, factors influencing eating behavior of adolescents are individual influences, social environment, physical environment. So all of them, right? All these are the factors that influencing the eating pattern or the eating behavior of adolescents. Then some eating disorders are seen in adolescents are anorexia nervosa and bulimia. This OCD and insomnia, that's an entirely different concept, okay? Then we have which meal is most regularly eaten by adolescents? Give one good reason. Most regularly eat meal. Any idea? What is your one?
Sweets.
The normal food, no? So you can write that. Then what health problems are caused by taking soft drinks in excess? Soft drinks.
Obesity.
Yeah, all the fast foods related things you can write here. The problems related to fast food, soft drinks, and all. Yeah. Question carry 1 mark, right? Or 2 marks. So 1 or 2 point is enough. Then what is dieting? 2 examples of non-traditional eating patterns and normal ones. Then discuss media, how this media affect on this eating pattern. Certain questions related, okay? Okay, so this assignment from this chapter, that is, you have to collect the factors influencing eating behavior, okay? A single page is enough, okay? A single page summary about the factors influencing eating behavior. So first page, home science assignment, give topic, your name, and second page, just 1 page, okay? Is it fine? You can refer your notes, you can refer my notes, and also refer
Ma'am, can
Google.
you just repeat the topic?
Yeah. Factors influencing eating behavior of adolescents. Factors influencing eating behavior of adolescents, which means the individual factors, the behavioral factors, psychological factors, social factors, and all. Okay. It's a paragraph. Please write as a paragraph. Is it fine? Okay. So let's move on to our next chapter. I'll send the notes. Okay. Again, a simple small chapter. Chapter 9 about the management of resources. Management of resources. Another stream of home science, right? The resource management. We discussed a few chapters about food science and nutrition. We also discussed about human development or child development. So this is our next area, that is resource management. So this is a simple chapter. In this chapter, we are going to discuss about what are the resources, simple one, and how to manage the resources. There is a step to manage those resources. Okay. Time is a resource, right? So how to manage time? Space is a resource. How to manage space? So there are certain steps to manage each resource. A simple chapter. Okay. So we are going to discuss. Before that, what are resources?
Anything that is available around the environment.
Sorry, Sanjana?
Anything that is available in the environment.
With some utility, right? With some function. That is resource. Okay. So anything that has some utility to satisfy any need of any human beings, that is simply called as resources, right? Can you list few resources? Then we will start.
Human resources.
Yeah. I don't need the headings, just list like time and all.
Time, Food,
Hmm.
materials.
Okay. So this is our chapter, okay? Management of resources, chapter 9. So resources are those products or materials. So it can be any material that we use to ensure our survival with some particular need. Okay, we all have certain needs. So the basic use of the resources is to satisfy our needs, to satisfy our human needs. So each resources has their own utility or their own function to satisfy. Okay, so we use these resources for our survival and also for satisfying our needs. My needs are entirely different from yours, right? So resources is also different with this needs. So resources can be simply defined as any useful thing or anything useful that helps in meeting our needs. We all have certain needs. So resources are certain things or anything with some usefulness or to meet our needs. So we use these resources to meet our needs or human needs or animal needs. Okay. That is the simplest meaning of the resources. For an example, if you want to study in school, what are resources you need? You want to study in a particular school, what are resources you need?
Food, uniform.
We need time, we need books, yeah, paper, pencils, and all. Yeah. Then we need money. These are the certain resources we need, right? Okay. So we are going to classify the resources. So we can easily classify the resources into three: human and non-human resources that you already told. Then we have individual and shared resource, natural and community resources. These are the three classifications of resources. So we can classify the resources into three: human and non-human resources, individual and shared resources, natural and community resources. So we use all these resources, all these human, individual, natural resources to satisfy our needs, right? That is the basic use of all these resources. Okay, so let's discuss one by one. First one, that is human and non-human resources. So human resources are the resources that come from within people. Okay, our own resources that come from one person. Okay, from person. That is human resources like our knowledge, interest, attitudes, ability, time, skills, aptitude, energy. All these are the certain human resources, certain common human resources. So these are the resources that are not visible, not visible resources. The human resource, another name. Yeah, they are not visible. Then we have non-human resources, simply means they are not physically or mentally the part of that person, because here in human resources, the resources from a person, right? Our knowledge, your knowledge, my skill, your skill, all these are only related to that particular person that come from ourselves, right? And this knowledge we can't, it's not visible, right? But here look, money or the material goods and properties are the examples of non-human resources. These are the visible ones. Okay, so please write human resources and non-human resources. Human resources are not visible. Non-human resources are visible things. And also write certain examples: money, material goods, all these are the visible goods. Then we have knowledge, interest, something not visible to our eyes, that is human resources. So let's discuss one by one. First is knowledge. Yeah, first resource under the human resource, that is knowledge. It is very valuable resource, right? This knowledge. Yeah, that is the first one. Then a teacher must have a knowledge about their subject. It's very compulsory, right? Then interest. What about interest? Sanjana.
It is human resource.
Yes. We need this interest to complete a particular task, right? A woman with who is very interested in the field of cooking, she can prepare the very nutritious food in less amount of time than others, right? Interest to complete a particular particular thing or particular task and all. Then we have time. Time is the one and only time. It is the one and only thing that is equal for everyone, right? Time, the time as a resource. Then ability, attitudes and aptitudes, energy, all these are the other resources. So knowledge, that is a very valuable resource. Interest, that always motivate to do or to complete a particular task. Time is the one and only equal resource for everyone, right? Yeah. And last class also we discussed about the positive attitudes and negative attitudes, right? The positive attitudes always help to complete a particular job easily than a person with a negative attitude. Then aptitude is also encourage that person to complete that work. Okay. Then we have non-human resources, money, material goods and property. Money, entirely opposite of this time, right? Money is not equal for everyone, entirely different for different persons. Then material goods and properties. Okay, material goods means our car, TV, clothes, all these are the material goods. Properties like shop, home, our house, all these are the properties. Okay, materials, TVs, car and all. Okay, is that clear? So this is our first classification. So we classify the resources into three. First classification, that is human and non-human resources. Human resources means the resources that are visible to our eyes or that come from ourselves, come within a person, that is human resources like interest, knowledge, skill, attitude, aptitudes, or energy and all. That is only related to that particular person. Okay. Then we have non-human resources. Non-human resources like money, material goods, and other properties. They are visible to our eyes, right? But they are not physically part of ourselves. They are not mentally or physically these resources. They are not mentally or physically the part of ourselves, the money and all. Okay. But the knowledge and skill, that is our part, right? That is the first classification. Then we have natural resources and community resources. It's very simple, right? Natural resources, something, the resources that is available in nature. It's there in our nature, right? Like the water, air, mountains, trees, plants. Yeah. The resources that available in nature. Then just opposite, community resources, which means the government hospitals, doctors, roads, park, we share with others, right? The community things, community resources. So these are the resources that is available to a particular individual, but we consider that individual as a member of whole society or whole population. Okay. So community resources are the resources that are available to all the members of a society. So these community resources are not a permanent property of a particular person, right? So we have to conserve all these community resources for our future generation. Okay. That is another concept. Then we have individual resources and shared resources. So simple. The resources that is only for a particular person, that is only for them, that are individual resources. All the human resources, my knowledge, that is only related to me, right? My skill, that is only related to me. My money or my property, my vehicle, all this related to me. So all the human and non-human resources are the individual resources. All the human and non-human resources are the individual resources. Then we have shared resources. The natural resources, we already discussed about, there are certain resources already in our nature, right? Then we have community resources. Some resources that we share with others. That is why we include this natural and community resources under the shared resources. So all this air or the hospital facilities, parks and all, we share with other members of the society, right? We share with other members, that is shared resources. So resources which are available to many members of a community for the whole population. That is shared resources. Certain resources that we share with another person or with another community. So we discussed about what is resource and different types of resources. A simple topic, right? So resource simply means that anything that has some utility or some functionality to satisfy certain needs of a human or satisfy the human needs. That is the simplest definition for the resources. Okay. Then we have lots and lots of resources. We have human resources, non-human resources, shared, community, individual, and one more.
Human and non-human, natural and community.
Yeah, natural and community, shared and
individual and shared.
Yeah. Okay, these are the common types of resources. So under this human resources, we have only the examples. Okay, the knowledge, skills only related to that particular person, individual. Sorry, that is human resources. We can also include this human resources and non-human resources under the individual resources, right? Only related to that particular individual. Then non-human resources, something that is very visible to our eyes, like money, properties and all. That is the one. Then we have the shared and community resources. Shared means there are certain resources that we share with a particular community. All the natural resources, then community resources like the parks and all that we share with another person. That is community resources. Okay, is that clear? Then one more, individual, community, shared and
Individual resources.
Individual resources, human, non-human, shared, natural resources, other resources. These are the resources in nature. Okay? Natural resources. Yeah. So now we are going to discuss about certain characteristics of resources. Each resource has their own characteristics, right? Each resource has their own
Characteristics.
Yeah, their own things. Yeah. So first one, the resources are useful. That is the first characteristics. Time is useful, our knowledge is useful, skill is useful. Okay, all resources are useful. These are the common characteristics of all the resources. The resources are useful. So each resource is useful in some manner. We need money to buy a car, right? But we need knowledge to do well in examination. Two different resources, right? The money we need to buy certain things, but we need knowledge to do well in examinations or class and all. Yeah. So each resource has their own usage. Then accessibility. Next character, that is accessibility. So this vary from one person to another person or from time to time, because the first stage, the amount of money that is different during the beginning of month when we compared with the end, right? Accessibility, the money, the accessibility. Then resources are limited. Which are the limited resources? Sana? Resources are limited.
The sustainable resource like petroleum.
Yeah, then time is a limited resource, no? Time also. When we waste our time, never get it back, right? Yeah. So limited resource, then manageable. Which means some resources are very limited, but we should manage these resources properly. Manageable. The resources should be manageable. All the resources. Water is a resource, right? So we should avoid using 5 or 4 buckets of water for washing clothes. Yeah, try to use the sufficient amount of water so we can manage that particular resources, right? Then resources are interrelated and interdependent. You can write, okay? Resources are interrelated and interdependent. Next characteristics, resources have alternative uses. Resources have alternative uses. We can use money to buy clothes, right? But same time, we can also use the money to buy books also. Yeah. Alternative needs. It satisfies the alternative needs of a particular person. Then one resource may be substituted for another. Can I give an example for this? One resource can be substituted for another one. Think about a particular resource and substitute with another resource.
Ma'am, for in old days and all for money, they used to give coins and all. Like they substitute something.
Almost all the resources are substitute, right? Suppose if your school bus does not come on time, you can use your another resource, your own vehicle to reach the school, right? Another resource. Okay, that's it. So these are the certain characteristics. So please write, all resources are useful, accessibility, all resources are limited, manageable resources should be manageable for the future needs and all, and each resource is interrelated and interdependent. For an example, for a decoration, for doing a decoration, we need lots of things, right? We need planning, we need skills, we need knowledge, we need money. Yeah, all these are interrelated to reach the final stage. Yeah. Then we have resources have alternative uses. We can use one resource for another resource. We can use the resource for another purpose. Then we can substitute the resource with another resource. Is that clear? These are the characteristics of resources. The common characteristics, okay? So we discussed about what are resources, then different types of resources and the common characteristics of resources. Okay, any doubts, Sanjana? Easy topic, right? Very easy. Yeah. So rest of the topic we'll discuss in the next class. Okay. I'll send the notes of the chapter 8. Is that fine? Okay. So thank you. Bye.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, the activity, when should we submit?